Welcome to Imperfect Mommying. Our children are constantly looking to us for examples. The term role model doesn't quite cut it here. We are shaping their worldview with every move we make. You see, it's not in the lectures we give or moments where we are actively attempting to teach them. It's in the micro movements we make, the unconscious ways in which we navigate life. We are constantly teaching our children how to show up for themselves, their friends, their future partners, and even their future children. So what can we do to ensure we are raising thoughtful, compassionate, self-aware human beings? We have to become them ourselves. No one is perfect, but we can still all be better, and it starts with self-healing. Let's get to it. Welcome back to Imperfect Mommying, and we have a very special guest today who I'm excited to talk to about sleeping. Her name is Bonnie Dimmick. Welcome to our show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Excited to be here.
And why don't you go ahead and tell us about you and what you do?
So I am a sleep consultant and owner of Sleep, Love, and Happiness Sleep Consulting. I work with families from newborn through age 8 to help establish healthy, independent sleep habits, focusing on respectful and positive parenting philosophies to help foster independent sleep through connection and that relationship, so that kids can peacefully separate for sleep and everybody can get the sleep that they need. So I work with families around the world to do this.
That's awesome, because bedtime routines and sleeping and co-sleeping is like a hot topic.
It is a very hot topic.
So is co-sleeping, in your opinion, I don't want people to get super crazy about it, but is that something that's not recommended, or is it just, in your view, not the best?
So for me, whatever works best for a family, I am all for. If it's working, keep doing it. As far as co-sleeping with younger babies, the AAP does not recommend bed sharing. They do recommend room sharing up through 6 to 12 months. But whatever is working best for a family. I'm not an expert in bed sharing, but there are some sleep consultants who do work with families who bed share and help them bed share more safely.
Yeah, I think my son was in my room for the first couple of months. Then he got in his own room. And then when I separated from his dad, we shared a bed, and he was probably 14 months. And even now, every once in a while, he still wants to like share the bed with us. And so when that happens, typically my boyfriend will sleep upstairs and my son will sleep in his spot. And, but it's a rarity now. And it's just because he still is looking for that connection, and he struggled to go to sleep. And so before we hit record, we started having kind of an interesting conversation about the sleep patterns changing around 9. So do you want to, I know you said you're not in 9 and above, but my son's 9.
So once kids hit adolescence, preteen, teenagers, their body clock shifts. They have a sleep phase shift, and they can't go to sleep as early. Like their body clock is set to go to sleep around 10, 11 o'clock at night. And so those early bedtimes that work earlier in childhood no longer work. And that's where there's been that push of schools, high schools, middle schools, to start later, because it helps kids get the sleep that they need and matches their natural rhythms.
Yeah. Should be a little bit harder for me with my schedule, but I think it would be a lot better for them. And because I'm just thinking, if he's staying up or going to sleep at 10, because he tells me all the time that he can't fall asleep. He had a 9 o'clock bedtime for school, and then during the summer I said, you could get in bed at 10, but I don't care if you unless we have something to do early in the morning, I don't care what time you actually go to sleep. so that's kind of what started the conversation, is it's currently 10:41 in the morning and he's not awake. And when he wakes up, the first thing he does is he comes and climbs on my lap. So I was giving Bonnie a little forewarning that he may be joining us on the podcast, but
that's so sweet.
He's super cute when he does it, so it's all good.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. Oh, and speak of the devil, and he appears.
Here he is.
As if on cue, I swear we didn't plan it. Oh.
So sleepy.
What are some of the things that moms with newborns to 8 years old struggle with that you really help them with?
So the thing I help with is going from helping their child to sleep to their child falling asleep independently. So what helping to sleep looks like is basically where the parent is making it their job to put their child to sleep through rocking, feeding, walking, bouncing, driving, a whole array of things. So they're basically making it their job to put their child to sleep. And so then their child doesn't know how to fall asleep on their own because they're used to this set of circumstances where their parent is helping them on their journey to sleep. So they go from wide awake through deeper and deeper levels of drowsiness until you're all the way asleep. And when they're getting help with that, then they don't know how to do it on their own because they haven't done it. And so in the newborn phase, that's very normal and helpful and beneficial for everyone. But once they get out of that phase, it can create more wake ups that aren't necessarily needed. And it can disrupt the family's sleep. And so I help them help their babies learn how to fall asleep in a different set of circumstances. So falling asleep on their own. And so what that looks like, it really depends on the family. We can take a very gradual route to do this so that we're minimizing crying. We're really supporting the child. And that's typically what I'm doing with families is we're working to minimize that to make it as supportive and responsive as possible so that when their child is expressing how they're feeling about this new learning situation, we're responding to them, supporting them through that, through voice, touch, comfort, all of that, so that they can really support their child in learning something new and allow their child to be in the best possible state for learning.
Perfect. So is there like one thing, or is there like the biggest mistake that you see parents making?
So I wouldn't say it's necessarily a mistake, but I do think a lot of parents don't realize that sleep is such a huge separation for our kids. And they don't look at it this way. They look at, babies and kids need sleep. Parents need them to sleep or want them to sleep for that break. But they don't look at it from the child's perspective, that this is a huge separation and there needs to be a lot of connection in order to help their child peacefully separate for that long period of time.
Yeah, I wouldn't think of it that way pretty much at all.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't, but once we put it in those terms, it can kind of help them better understand why these challenges are coming up, especially bedtime battles, fighting at bedtime, curtain calls where they're pulling their parents back in. I need water, I need this, I need that, what about this? And once you kind of look at it as the separation and needing that connection to help kids be ready to separate, that mindset shift really is helpful so that parents can be present, emotionally, physically present during bedtime, really connecting with their child to help them peacefully separate for sleep.
Yeah, I'm just replaying all the nights, all the water requests, all the I'm hungry is, all the whatever, I need the light on, I need the fan on, I need, all these things that are really
just a cry for attention, or that I would put the word anxiety on, like separation anxiety.
Because they are, they're separating, and that's a big thing for kids. They're wired to want to be close and connected to us, so we need to have that connection so that they can separate.
So is it more of like we need to be more connected during the day, or is there like a bedtime routine that helps with it, or is it something completely different?
So the biggest thing I say is being emotionally and physically present during the bedtime routine. Like, leave your phone out of it, leave the to-do list out of it. Like, just focus on being with your child and really soaking in that love and filling up their love bucket so that they feel secure and connected going to sleep. And a lot of times at that time of day, parents are really tapped out. And so it can be hard to be emotionally, mentally present, but making that effort, really trying to be intentional with the bedtime routine and connecting, can make bedtime go so much easier. And then their kids are asleep, and then you get that time. So
Yeah.
it's
So we have
worth the trade-off.
during school, we have, a semi stricter routine where, we'll have bedtimes at 9 because
Mhm.
I need him to fall asleep. I need him to get enough sleep, or he's kind of crabby in the morning. And
Yeah.
we make sure that, we have, starting at 8:30, everything starts to wind down, where we have, get your glass of water, and if you need a snack, get a snack, and wear your shoes,
Mhm.
your clothes for tomorrow, and where's your backpack, and just all the things that create the chaos in the morning, we do to
Mhm.
preventatively the day before. I'm working on being more consistent with like the bedtime story, because I really enjoy that time where we can read
Mhm.
his books. Especially Captain Underpants is probably one of my favorite books because the chapters are so short that it's easy. We could read 5 or 6 chapters, but
Mhm.
it's really easy to say, okay, here's a stopping point,
Yeah.
versus, like Harry Potter, where the chapters are 20 pages and you don't know, am I getting into what kind of chapter am I getting into?
Right.
And I don't, I'm just a little OCD with chapters. I don't like to stop in the middle. I like that clean page break.
I'm the same way.
So, yeah, I love that perspective that, they are having this separation, and you want to be connected with
Mhm.
without the phone, without the to-do list, and recognizing that we're drained at the end of the day. And I don't remember what he asked me to do the other day, but I was like, dude, I am already undressed. I'm already in bed. I'm done. And
Mhm.
just this conversation's helped me be more aware of what's going on in his mind and in his body, and really making more of a connection, because I remember as a kid my dad would come into my bedroom and he would tuck me in, and just like a little burrito, and it was like our special bonding time where we would, he would literally tuck me in and go tuck him, tuck him, tuck him, tuck him, tuck him. And
Aw.
like that's my favorite memory of being a kid. And and he loves to be tucked in too, and I'm not at all consistent with doing it.
It can be really hard, like, especially in this pandemic, like, parents are tapped out by the end of the day. I know I am, and it is really hard to be intentional with the bedtime routine. It just is, and, like, our feelings as parents are valid too,
Yeah.
but if we can try and look at it from our child's perspective and really try to meet that need for connection, it goes so much more smoothly, and you can get out of there and get some time for yourself, But like you said, it creates these really, really positive memories. And sleep should be a positive thing. And if we can, have that mindset shift, it can make it more positive for everybody, because it really is a special time to connect and wind down from the day. Something I really like to have in the bedtime routine, books are great, and I think it can instill a love of reading. It's great cuddling while you're reading the book, but another thing that can be really helpful is like telling a story.
Mm.
So parents kind of make up a story, you tell it. It helps parents connect too, because your story could be about your favorite band or your favorite TV show put in a, you know, developmentally age appropriate package for this story.
Mhm.
And it's just another really strong connection point that's pretty easy to do, 2-3 minute story that you may cut that it just has huge benefits.
Yeah. Yeah. What about, and is it too much if they're telling you a story? I love the creative aspect of that, and hearing it from, I'm just imagining hearing it from my son too. Like he's creative, so it would be really entertaining to hear us
Yeah.
from him.
I think that would be great, as kids get older, letting them tell part of the story, or you tell part of it, then they tell part of it. And that creative aspect, because that's how our children learn, is through creativity and building things, trying things. And so I think that would be great.
Mm.
And it would make it really fun. I have parents who tell me, it helps me learn what's going on in my child's day and how I can best help them. If someone at school saying something that we need to talk about, things like that, they come up. And being present at bedtime can really help with that.
And it's a non-threatening way to get them to share what's going on
Hmm.
in their worlds. Yeah, that's an important aspect of it too.
Exactly.
Is there a piece, like a nugget that you want to drop for like a piece of advice or anything you want to share with our moms?
So beyond, helping your child learn how to fall asleep without you doing part of their journey to sleep with you, which, there's a wide gamut of ways that you can do that. But I guess I'd like to share it with older kids, toddlers and up, ways that you can stay connected to them even when you're not there, so that they're connected all night long. So a couple of things are, using one of your old t-shirts as a pillowcase for them,
Hmm.
having a special blanket or stuffed animal that you say goodnight to, you hug and kiss the stuffed animal. So it has your hugs and kisses for your child all night long.
Hmm.
You can, in that storytelling, talk about how you're going to finish telling the story in their dreams and you're going to meet in their dreams. You
Hmm.
can spray a perfume or something like that in their room.
Yeah.
There's lots of these different ways you can be really creative to help your child feel connected to you all night long. And that can really help with, toddler and up night wake ups, where they're waking up and they're like, I'm scared, I need you, because they're pulling in for that connection most
Hmm.
of the time. Nightmares come up, but other times they're just pulling in for that connection. So if you can help bridge the gap between bedtime and morning with different things like, putting a heart under their pillow, like
Hmm.
a cut out of paper, so that they have that with them all night long. All these little things can help with those night wake ups where they're pulling in for connection.
Yeah, that's so cool. You're bringing up all these memories of things that I've done throughout his life. We had a monkey. I used to call it either the magic monkey or the singing monkey or something. And I don't even remember who gave it to me, but I remember that it came from my baby shower,
Mhm.
and that it had white noise, it had music, and then it had like giggling and laughing, or the ooh, ooh, ah, ah, monkey sound. And I put that in with him as when he was a baby, and then we lost it somewhere, and when we got it back, it was the magic monkey. That's when it used to be the singing monkey, and then it became the magic monkey, because he would go to sleep like that. And recently, in the last 2 years, my best friend passed away, and she was like a second mom to him. And the day that she passed away, there was a those scentsy, smelly, plushy animals that they have. Well, she had an owl, and I took it for my son. And he's been sleeping with Shelly Owl ever since. And then I had a lion, and so he sleeps with Shelly Owl and Mommy Lion. And he had a cat pass away too, and he has a stuffed animal that is a cat that looks like the one that passed away. And so he's got his little, collection of stuffed animals that he sleeps with. And now that you're mentioning it, he's woken up so much less to, come and climb into bed with me and have that connection time. And then before, all right, you can have a minute. Now go back to sleep. And that's happened less since with all of that bedtime snuggle routine.
Yeah, it can make a world of difference. It seems so simple and easy, but it really matters. One of my memories from growing up is, instead of having the stuffed animal with me, my mom had a stuffed animal that was like in her bed. And if my brother and I woke up kind of in that, needing just connection to touch base, she would give us that stuffed animal to sleep with us for the rest of the night. And it really helped. I remember like cuddling this bear and feeling so safe and secure.
Yeah. One thing I didn't ask you is, how did you get into this?
So I got into sleep consulting because my first, she's now almost 4, but she was not a good sleeper. She was up every hour and a half all night long, and I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
I was not doing well with the sleep deprivation. And so I found something that helped me get her sleeping in a way that felt good, that I was helping her. And I just felt called to help other moms. And now that my kiddos are getting older, almost, like I said, almost 4-year-old and almost 2-year-old, I've been really getting into respectful parenting. I'm a certified positive discipline parent educator, so that I can help in all these other ways beyond sleep, and really use these positive discipline and respectful parenting philosophies to support sleep.
Yeah. And there's a couple of people that pop into my mind just off the top of my head that need you.
We'll send them my way.
I will do that. Is there a book? I think this might be a random question I'm throwing at you. I don't remember if I warned you or not. Is there a parenting book that or a personal development book that's been super impactful for you in your own personal parenting?
In my parenting, the Janet Lansbury book, Elevating Childcare, and then the toddler book, which I am forgetting the name of at the moment, have been huge. And that's really what got me into respectful parenting. And it's been a game changer at my house.
Yeah. Awesome. Where can our listeners find you?
So you can find me online at sleeploveandhappiness.com, or on Instagram and Facebook at Sleep, Love, and Happiness.
Perfect. Makes it easy, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here today and pouring pouring into our listeners and giving them, I mean, I can only imagine the number of moms that are like, okay, writing that down. How do I get my kid to sleep better? Yeah, because sleep is so important.
It really is. And it really helps families when everybody is getting good sleep.
So, well, thank you again for coming. And we will have another episode next week of Imperfect Mommying. And until then, keep healing.
Thank you for tuning in to Imperfect Mommying. It's time for us to step up and realize that our power is not in trying to shape our children. Our power lies in shaping ourselves into the people we want our children to model themselves after. Don't just do it for your kids. Do it for yourself. When you become a more self-aware, compassionate, and confident person, you and everyone around you benefit. For more information about me and my work, visit AlysiaLyons.com. That's AlysiaLyons.com. See you next time.